Welcome back, everyone. The next portion of our afternoon will be a panel discussion chaired by Dr. Adele Buckley, who is a physicist, engineer, and environmental scientist. In addition to her extensive scientific experience in areas such as environmental technology and mass spectrometry system development, she's a valued member of Canadian Pugwash Group, where she is a past chair and currently serves as the treasurer. Dr. Buckley will introduce each of the panelists in turn, so I will turn it over to her, and I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion.
Well, everyone, welcome to this panel discussion. I think you're going to hear another 4 perspectives on what is a complex topic. So thank you, Emma, for organizing us all to be here for this vital topic. As you heard, I am from Canadian Pugwash, and I have a background in physics, engineering, environmental science, many different sciences. And I certainly am conscious of the social responsibility aspect. We have a picture up. I'll explain it in a moment. There's a few up here if anyone wants some brochures of Canadian Pugwash. There are also a few things on Arctic Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone, which is an area of my interest, and if anyone wants to pick up these, please do. And why I particularly want to mention this is because it would be very good if any professional scientist or aspiring professional scientist in either the natural or social sciences should decide they're interested in what Pugwash does and wants to work with us, and they should get in touch. So that's my my promotion here. Now, what I have put up here is essentially a very Canadian perspective on what happened, social responsibility of scientists, because of course in 1957 the people met in Pugwash, Nova Scotia, and that's why it's called that. And I know many of you know this story, but others don't. But 22 scientists from 10 countries from both sides of the Cold War met at Pugwash and discussed the abolition of nuclear weapons, and they were urged to do that by the Russell-Einstein Manifesto, and they were brought to the place by Cyrus Eaton. So those people are up for you to look at. And I think this one gets me my next slide. And essentially, these 2 groups that I'm mentioning here, the Pugwash conferences and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, I know we're mostly concentrating on nuclear weapons, but in fact, what you think about here is that interconnectedness is a very real thing. Every crisis that we have connects to other crises, which certainly makes it difficult. And so, and both of those organizations have been awarded a Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts. And also note that the Pentagon views climate change as a serious security issue. Also, maybe interesting for us to note that a number of people associated with Pugwash are now senior science advisors to President Obama. I hope that that is useful, but I'm sure there are many political considerations where everything that a scientist would ever wanted isn't actually always possible in the political sphere. So, but the thing is that there's also a sustainability issue. And I just want to mention not only climate is an area where scientists have tried to be socially responsible, but they are now, of course, dealing with an opening Arctic. And when you think of something like nuclear-armed submarines in the Arctic causing a huge environmental problem if for instance, they were to release their weapons into the ocean and impossible to clean up. You think of scientists, of the applied scientists, and technology is what's going to be hugely used in the Arctic for the purpose of claiming the resources. Now, eventually, of course, those resources might be used up, but in the meantime, think of what will happen if there's an accident. This is a serious issue where the scientists and technical people doing drilling in the Arctic have to think of their social responsibility, and what will they do about that? We will watch and see. And now I have a very distinguished panel, and you have a program, but in fact the panel is going to operate in a slightly different order. I also want to tell you, as they talk, would you please, if you have a question, get ready, or even better, put it on a paper so that the cards that you have in order that they can be collected. So that's my message for you. Our very first speaker is Dr. Nancy Doubleday, and she's going to speak on resilience in war. And she's from McMaster. She's the Hope Chair in Peace and Health there. And I wonder, I haven't managed to find out from her what that means, but she's a biologist and a lawyer, which is a very appropriate thing for now, and she has extensive experience in Arctic issues, peace, health, well-being, sustainability, resilience, environment, justice, and so she's very rooted in the issues of the Arctic, and particularly policy development, and all of those things connect to our topic. So I am going to let her interdisciplinary knowledge enlighten you right now. Thank you.